NBA Countdown, presented by Straight Talk Wireless.
Oh, yeah. Happy Sunday. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Welcome inside Studio H here in L.A. Chauncey, we're in green.
Phillips. I'm the only one celebrating
Jalen,
Patrick's Day.
not wearing green. Paul Pierce, no green. I have green on. Thank you very much.
This is supposed to be Mr. Boston.
Yeah, aren't you supposed to be covered in green?
Hey, you stay green.
I don't know what that means. We got a good one today. We really do. Two serious contenders, lots to prove in Philly and Milwaukee. First up, the challengers. Joel Embiid missed the first 8 games following that All-Star game since his return. Just under 24 points, 16 rebounds a game. Not bad. And by the way, Sixers are 3-0 since his return. And let's look at the standings out east. The Bucks have been running up front all season. The preseason darlings, these Sixers, have been slugging it out in that 3-4-5 neighborhood. Philly, Boston, Indiana probably would all prefer to avoid each other in the first round. That third seed is a pretty big deal, Jalen. I ask you, who is better built for the playoffs, Sixers or Bucks?
The Philadelphia 76ers. Elton Brand has done a terrific job with the team. Now the process should be here. You have your anchor in Joel Embiid. Brett Brown did a masterful job of putting the ball in Ben Simmons' hands, which masked the fact that he's not much of a shooter, but unlocked the rest of his game. You add Jimmy Butler, who can lock down on D, and he's a closer. You add Tobias Harris, who's a multifaceted player on both ends of the floor and can make an open shot. So I feel like, along with J.J. Redick, they have the second best starting 5 in the NBA. The Sixers, in my opinion, are better built right now than the Bucks to go far.
Make no mistake about it, though. The process is over. When you make those kinds of moves, it's time to show and prove. The process is over. We need to just leave that alone.
We're done with it.
They got maybe 4 All-Stars in their All-Star caliber guys in their starting lineup. The process is over with. It's time to show and prove. So I agree with you, Jalen. Elton Brand has done a terrific job of building and giving them a chance.
Man, I think it's the Milwaukee Bucks. One, they're a great shooting team, great defensive team, and I think Philadelphia, the one liability that's going to hurt them is Ben Simmons shooting, which we saw last year in the playoffs versus the Celtics. And so when you talk about the teams that advance and normally go to the finals, it's usually the teams that have a top-notch offense and a defense and a guy who, in many people's eyes, is the MVP of the league, in Giannis.
And I got one question for you guys because I don't know the answer to it. Sorry, Bees, I'm not taking over your job.
Oh, I'm not listening. It's fine.
What do you guys think the identity of this 76ers team is? Because
I would like to hear that.
Know. I really don't. Like, I think most good teams have an identity. I don't know what theirs is yet.
But you say that, how are they better built for the playoffs is what I'm saying. If you don't know their identity, how are they better built?
Do you know the identity of the Bucks? Can you put that in words?
I do. They share the basketball. They're one of the top defensive teams in the league, and they have a superstar. So I think every single night you're going to see 2 things. They're going to defend at a high level, and they share that basketball. Very unselfish.
I think the unique identity of Philly, however, is that they have 4 of the top 20 players in the conference. They have one of the best knockdown shooters in J.J. Redick. And I think there's going to be a level of hunger for those guys because Jimmy Butler and Tobias Harris can be free agents at the end of this year. So there should be a sense of urgency with that, along with the fact that Joel Embiid has a history of injury.
And just in case, we will talk a little bit more about Malcolm Brogdon out for a bit, probably.
Big blow.
Giannis has developed into the evolution of interior dominance, leading the league in points in the paint. A giant paint presence exists in his way, however, today in what we're not going to call the process. Right, Chauncey?
No process.
They're 2 of the biggest stars in the NBA. Literally, they are huge. Coming up, we put them up against each other in this or that.
You could get with this or you could get with that.
NBA Countdown.
NBA final since Kareem got him there in 1974. They haven't won a playoff series since a Ray Allen-led squad went to the 2001 Eastern Conference Finals. But this season, the Bucks' plans don't stop there. How did the top-rated, top-ranked, and most improved team in the NBA get from the middle of the pack to the peak? Here's Dr. Kirk Goldsberry with the method of understanding the madness behind the best team in basketball.
The Milwaukee Bucks are the most improved team in the NBA, and there are 3 things behind their turnaround. The first one is defense.
There's a steal by Bledsoe.
Last year, the Bucks won just 44 games because they just couldn't get stops. Their defense ranked 18th in the NBA, but Mike Budenholzer rebuilt the team's tactics.
Keep getting stops on that end. Good D.
They blitz less and protect the paint more, and suddenly Milwaukee has the #1 defense in the NBA.
Here comes showtime. Antetokounmpo!
If good defense begins with strategy and execution, it ends with good rebounding. And that's the second thing fueling Milwaukee's resurgence. Last year, the Bucks were the worst defensive rebounding team in the NBA. This year, they rank first. It all starts with Giannis, who is pulling down more than twice as many boards as any of his teammates, and he now ranks 5th in the league in rebounds per game. But everyone in their rotation can rebound, and that improved defense is ensuring there are a lot more missed shots available to grab.
A three-point look for the knockout. Bingo!
The third thing is three-point shooting. A year ago, the Bucks ranked 27th in the NBA by sinking just 8.8 threes per game. This year, they rank 2nd at 13.3. They're scoring 13.5 more points per game this year from downtown.
When they shoot like that, they can beat anybody in this league.
Last season, nobody on the Bucks averaged more than 5 three-point tries a game. This year, they have 3 dudes, Middleton, Lopez, and Mirotic, at 6 or more per game.
Easy as 1, 2, 3.
Between the improved defense, rebounding, and three-point scoring, the Bucks haven't just gotten better, they're suddenly a championship contender. And in a league obsessed with superstars and highlights, they're also a key reminder of one of the most important things in basketball. Coaching matters.
Now, Malcolm Brogdon is out the next 6 to 8 weeks, but he was having a great season, shooting career-high 51% from the floor, 43% from three, leads the league in free throw percentage at 93%. Set to finish the season 50-40-90, a feat only 7 other players have accomplished in NBA history. Giannis had more on the loss of Brogdon in our Straight Talk soundbites.
He was playing great all year. He was scoring the ball for us. He was defending. He was making clutch shots for us. He was a leader in the locker room, and obviously we're going to still have that leadership from him. But it's going to be a tough one, not having Malcolm. But at the end of the day, we have a lot of guys that are going to step up.
There's been so much made about Coach Budenholzer, and obviously he's going to have some challenges now as the playoffs get closer and closer without Malcolm Brogdon. How does he handle this?
This is going to be a major loss for the Bucks. And when you say it to the casual fan, it's like they still had a Greek freak. They still have Middleton. They still have Bledsoe. But I think he unlocked their backcourt and gave them a level of camaraderie and versatility that one of those guys could be a primary ball handler. Both of those guys locked down on defense. I think without him, that's going to be such a blow that I went from feeling like they had a legit chance to make it to the NBA Finals to without him, if he's going to be gone up to 8 weeks, that's the second round of the playoffs. That may cost them in that round.
Any team lose their glue guy, I think he's their glue guy.
Even with everything else they have.
With everything else, you always need that glue guy, the guy that you can depend on every single night to give you that effort, to be positive no matter how he's playing. I think he's that guy for them.
Yeah, he fills so many gaps for them. Like Jalen said, the ball handling, a guy who you can put on different guards defensively, let alone his three-point shooting. I mean, this is a huge blow. The guy averages 15 points a game. How do you make that up? You know, and they have guys maybe that are capable. I mean, obviously you brought in George Hill. He has to step up now and fill that role, but this is a huge blow to this team.
Talk to me about their style of play, what they've been able to do regular season-wise. Will that translate over into the postseason?
Yeah, it definitely translates. I mean, when you have a top-tier defense, you rebound the ball, and a top-flight offense, it all translates into championship team. On paper, they're the best team in the league. I mean, I know we have the Golden State Warriors, but on paper, they're the favorite based on statistics.
No, sir.
On paper,
they're better than the Warriors on paper?
Which paper?
I'm talking about based on statistics, Chauncey. If you look at the common denominator of all the championship teams, I mean, even your Pistons team, you guys were great defensively, middle of the pack offensively. You guys were solid in all areas, great rebounding, and it added to a championship, and they have all the ingredients.
There's no other Pistons team out here, but we'll go somewhere else with that. But there's no way that anybody looks better on paper than the Warriors. However, what I will say is, you know I'm not a stats guy.
You're an eye tester.
But Giannis is a super-duper star. He really is. That's what Coach Bud didn't have in Atlanta, even though they had a well-rounded team, 4 All-Stars that one year. They didn't have this. And also, Coach Bud hasn't been fantastic in the playoffs. Let's not forget about that.
Okay.
Now, will he be Coach of the Year? Probably so. But The proof is going to be in the pudding in the playoffs, period. And we'll see. I think they're the favorite in the Eastern Conference, but we
how do you slow, like, how do you slow them down? What is the plan there?
Well, I think Toronto is the biggest threat to those guys in the Eastern Conference. Toronto's really deep. Obviously, a lot is going to depend on Kyle Lowry. I like that's a solid matchup for him with Bledsoe. Shouldn't be too outmanned, which has always been an issue. But I think Philly is also, you know, could be tough. And Boston. If Boston can really get going, they could also be a problem for this Bucks team.
Fantastic team, great regular season, but you got to keep Giannis out of the paint. Take away his layups and dunks.
We're going to have a special edition NBA Sunday night matchup for you on ESPN. Questionable James Harden and the Rockets hosting Karl Anthony Towns and the Timberwolves. Rockets have won 9 of their last 10 and are in a battle for that 3 spot in the West. That's 9 Eastern, 8 Central on ESPN and the app. That's right, we'll be here all day. Hall of Famer Spencer Haywood said Ben Simmons' ceiling is, quote, going to tap out around Magic Johnson's ceiling. High praise for the 22-year-old.
Mr. Haywood, Detroit, stand up. The first guy to come out of high school.
And Giannis might be the star of this Bucks team, but it's Eric Bledsoe who just cashed in. Coming up, the specifics of Milwaukee's investment strategy. Here's a guess. It's divisible by 3. But the man who forced his way out of Phoenix and found himself in a heck of a spot could be made an argument for, correct?
You know, I would argue for Bledsoe, even though they have 2 All-Stars and neither one of them are named Eric Bledsoe. Chris Middleton's been fantastic. But the way that they play, the way Coach Bud likes to play, he needs a point guard that can live in the paint. You watch him right here. Any point guard that can break down a defense and command this type of attention, that's 4 green shirts in the paint. That's all you want if you're an offensive coach, to have your guys break down. And look, Brook Lopez, who's shooting 37% from 3,
chilling,
is wide open for pretty much a layup. That's Eric Bledsoe. Bled again. When he gets downhill, he is a problem. Now, that's De'Aaron Fox, one of the faster point guards in our game. And look what part of the game it is. This is crunch time. They're up 4. They need a bucket right here. He catches Willie Cauley-Stein sleeping right here and gets downhill for an uncontested layup. That's tough. He can change gears with the best of them. And you want to switch? Okay, let's switch. This is a big mistake right here. Cauley-Stein is going to jam Eric Bledsoe. Well, watch what he does. He creates some separation to get back downhill, and then he goes in his bag. He has that too. We didn't know that, did we? And I always believe this. So athletic. He's very, very good one-on-one defender, because you need to be. That's Kemba Walker. Nobody can guard him. Even Bledsoe, but he continues to pursue and blocks a shot. He is a really, really, really valuable piece to this team. And you look at points in the paint, but 6'1" or shorter. I mean, that's pretty impressive. That's a heck of a list right there. So you talk about him getting a new deal and earning it. Definitely deserves it, and Eric Bledsoe is, to me, a very underrated point guard.
So we got a lot of talent on the floor, but I think the fact that we've got 2 of the league's elite big men today playing can only mean one thing. It's time to play a little this.
I love this game.
Or that.
Here they come, yo. Here they come. Here they come, yo. Here they come. Here they come. This or that. Here they come. This or that. 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 You could get with this, or you could get with that. You could get with this, or you could get with that. You could get with this, or you could get with that. I think you get with this. This is kind of fat. You could get with this, or you could get with that. You could get with this, or you could get with that. You could get with this, or you could get with that. I think you get with this, because this is where it's at.
This is quite simple. The answers are going to be Embiid or Giannis. That's it. I'll start with Paul on the first one. Who has more individual postseason success this postseason?
I'm going to go with Greek Freak.
Okay. That was easy. That was easy. Anyone else?
Individual, to me, is based on winning. Both of these are terrific players, but I'm going to go with Embiid because I think his team is going to get farther.
Paul Pierce.
You agree with
I'm riding with you, man. I'm riding with you.
Jump on this train, Charles.
I think Giannis.
Jump on this train.
And to your point, I think their team is better. I think they will go deeper in the playoffs. And if they do, it will be because, obviously, Greek Freak is going to be special.
Obviously. Okay. More fearsome competitor, Chauncey. You start.
Giannis. Giannis.
More
it was quick. It was quick. He reminds me a lot of Kevin Garnett. You know, Ben Wallace, Russell and him had the same ferocity. Definitely Giannis.
Well, you know who Joel Embiid reminds me of? Hakeem Olajuwon. I'm taking him because he's the guy that gets under other people's skin. I haven't seen necessarily Greek
by talking
to it with anybody.
By talking, not playing, by talking.
Drummond, Whiteside, he tries to get a few bodies. Russell Westbrook, I'm just saying.
He's a good talker.
He's a great talker.
The easy one is Greek Freak.
When
he comes into the lane, people get out the way. Immediately, he leads the league in dunks. If you want to talk about fearsome, that's fearsome right there.
All right, fine. Jalen, I love this. Who do you think you would enjoy playing with more?
Oh, no doubt, Joel Embiid. You saw him at All-Star Weekend with his shirt off, singing Meek Millie. I want to hang out with him.
Do you see his karaoke on his birthday the other day?
Hang out or play. I mean,
enjoy.
It's a lifestyle, guys.
Enjoy.
Lifestyle.
3, he could drop dimes.
He got game. There's no question about that. He got huge.
Play on the post.
The Greek Freak. Every night I could watch this kid come down the lane and throw down a ferocious dunk on somebody. Love to play with the Greek Freak.
Listen, he reminds me so much of a guy that we both played with, Kevin Garnett. I know you loved playing with Kevin. I did too. He reminds me of Kevin, Ben. His competitive spirit every single night on both ends. I would love to play with.
You guys are batting 1,000 here. All right, down 2, Paul. Who do you trust with the ball?
This is easy, Embiid. He's more versatile of a scorer, even though Giannis is shooting 3 more, but I got to go with Embiid.
Wow, okay. Same?
Embiid.
Okay.
Interesting.
Embiid.
I flip and I go Giannis here. Because he's a guy that can really initiate your offense as almost a point guard going downhill late in the game.
That was very consistent.
But what if we foul him?
On all y'all's parts.
Who, Giannis?
Yeah.
He'll knock it down for me.
Fair enough.
Hey, that was a squeaky. That was a squeaky answer right there.
A lot going on today.
Real squeaky right
Knock
there.
it down for him.
Coming up, Selection Sunday, 7 East, Bracket College, Phyllis, Jay Rosette, Dickie V. They're not. Sports Center, 5:15. Guys, get ready for the field of 68.
I wasn't confident in that.
And on the app. Let's check out who's playing with confidence, brought to you by Toyota. Since joining this team, Tobias Harris has grabbed the secondary scorer role, scoring nearly 20 a game, second on the team behind only Joel Embiid. He'll be up next.
And we might go to Delilah's.
Don't work out if you're a Bucks fan.
This is a new Odyssey, an epic worthy of Homer's oration. He has the strength of Hercules, the focus of Jason, and the craftiness of Odysseus.
Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Watching this kid play every night is a pleasure and an honor.
But like all heroes, his journey threads the impossible hardship of Scylla and Charybdis.
Chicago Bulls are moving on.
Milwaukee suffering the worst loss by any team when facing elimination in NBA postseason history.
Antetokounmpo back to the drawing board. The Greek Freak still has not advanced out of a playoff series.
The Greek Freak is overcoming each trial, each step closer to godhood.
I should win MVP because I don't care. I just care about winning. That's what I care about. We haven't won the playoff series yet. So that's our first step.
Tonight, they will learn to fear the deer. The next line in Giannis's Odyssey. Sixers, Bucks, next on ABC.
Shout out Curtis. A little Greek mythology vibe right there. All right, time to go courtside for this game. It's just Giannis and Embiid. I don't know what else there is left to say other than, is this a dress rehearsal as we get closer to these playoffs?
Absolutely, and you're looking in the mirror of the future of both of those franchises going forward. But this season, Joel Embiid is averaging 27 points, 13 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 blocks. The last player to do that was Shaq in 2000. Ooh. He won MVP that year, and the Lakers won the championship. I think Embiid is ready to lead the Philadelphia 76ers.
I think the Greek Freak is ready to take that next step. They haven't been out the first round. This is a terrible matchup for Philadelphia, the Greek Freak, as far as offense, defense. So if these two teams meet in the playoffs, I see Milwaukee advancing.
I hope they do.
Looking forward to it.
It's coming up. We'll see y'all at the half. We'll send it out to Jones, Hubie, and Lisa Salters.
Enjoy the game.
All right, thanks a lot, Michelle, and welcome to Milwaukee in Fiserv Forum. Take a good look at the building because the way things are trending right now, the road to the Eastern Conference Championship will run right through Milwaukee and this building. Special delivery.